Alright guys, I realized yesterday I didn't do enough in the video, so I'm going to try to pause every once in a while, go through a few problems, and get to make sure I go through all 10 and show you any examples that you have. So, today you are finding equivalent expressions. Equivalent means equal. Okay, so they're the same. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to do what's called factoring. This is what I didn't get to show you yesterday. So, factoring means you take a expression that they give you. So 6x minus 12. We're going to start with the first one here. So factoring is when you find the greatest common factor between the two numbers that you see. So we're going to take 6 and break it down, and we're going to break down 12. So 6 we know is 2 times 3, those are prime, and 12 is 3 times 4, and then 4 breaks into 2 times 2. Then we have to get the matches only. Okay, so there's a 2 and a 2, there's a 3 and a 3. So 2 times 3 is 6. So our greatest common factor is 6. Now I'm going to erase this real fast. Alright, so that equals 6. So we're going to take that greatest common factor, and it goes on the outside of the parentheses. So if I take 6 away from 6, like I do 6 divided by 6, I'm going to get 1, so I have 1x, or just x. If I do 12 divided by 6, I'm going to be left with 2, and the minus sign drops down. So we end up with 6 times x minus 2. So that means that these two are equivalent, so we're good to go with those. So now we're going to look at this problem. And we're going to see 4x minus 8 plus 2x minus 4. So these are like terms. We talked about this one yesterday. We're going to put those together. So 4x plus a positive 2x would be 6x. And then we have negative 8 minus 4. So when you have a negative minus a negative, you're just going to take those numbers and put them, it would be like saying negative 8 plus negative 4. It actually turns that into kind of a plus sign. So negative 8 plus a negative 4 would actually be a negative 12. That is the same thing as the first problem. So this problem right here also works. Now let's check the bottom. We have 3x plus 3x, and we have a negative 12. Well, these two are like terms. 3x plus 3x would be 6x minus 12. All of these are equivalent. You're going to do the same thing here. So this is factoring it out. So this first one, you're going to have to do distributive property. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. 4 times x squared is equal to 4x. Well, maybe. 4x squared plus 4 times 5 is 20. These two are the same. Now this is the more difficult one down here. So I'm going to write it onto the right side. So we have 8x squared plus 40 divided by 2. So you're going to take this number, 8 divided by 2, and you're going to take 40 divided by 2. So 8 divided by 2 would be 4, and the x squared just drops down. 40 divided by 2 would be 20, and then you take your plus sign, and it goes right in between, which these are all equivalent as well. We all get 4x squared plus 20 at some point. Alright, the expressions shown below, we have to figure out, are these equivalent? So when you have all of these variables, you can add them together, okay? They all have the same variables, so they can all be added together. So y plus y would be like you're saying you have a 1 in front of all of these. So 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 4y. And if we look at the next problem, we have 3y plus y. That is the same thing as saying 3y plus 1y. 3 plus 1 is 4, and you put your y at the back. So yes, these are equivalent. Okay? Sort the expressions into the categories in which they are equal. Note they may not belong. So we are going to take these down here. You see my little pointer of all these problems. You are going to have to figure out if they're equal to these expressions up here. Now some of them may not work. So I'm going to do an example of one that works, an example of one that does not work. You're going to have to use, mostly down here, you're going to have to use distributive property and pay attention to your plus and minus signs. This one you're going to have to use like terms. And I would solve these down here. It'll be easier than trying to solve these problems here. So let's do one that works. Let's see. Let's do 2 times y minus 3. Okay, so this is just distributive property. Can't talk. So we're just going to multiply the y times 2 and then negative 3 times 2. So 2 times y is 2y. Negative 3 times 2, remember, a negative times a positive will always get you a negative number. 2 times 3 is 6. We put that minus sign in front. So 2 times y minus 3 is equal to 2y minus 6. So that's one that works. And then let's see one that doesn't work. Let me think about this. So one that doesn't work would be 2 times y plus 3. So distributive property again. 2 times y is 2y. This time we have positive 3 times positive 2, which would be positive 6. None of these down here are equal to that. So this is one that doesn't work. So that first option doesn't work. And I'm going to tell you real fast, pay attention to this. You're going to have to, if you see this down here, you're going to have to solve that little 3 times 2y minus 4 to make it work. Okay, I'm going to pause it and submit the answer so you don't see everything. Alright guys, that's the end of the video. That looks like to be all that you're doing. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Hopefully that helped. I know that was very fast, but it should be helpful for you all. Have a good day. One more day, guys.